the BBC's bodyguard.
You don't have to do this.
Is the portrayal of that Muslim woman Islamophobic? The Muslim Council of Britain says it pandered to stereotypes of Muslim women who wear the hijab as oppressed or subservient. They've got a report out today from what they call the Centre for Media Monitoring, which claims that some parts of the British media have a serious problem with portrayals of Muslim people and Islam. Let's talk now to Miqdad Versi, founder of the Centre for Media Monitoring, which is run by the Muslim Council of Britain. Imtiaz Shams, who is a former Muslim and campaigner. Sahar Al-Faifi from the Muslim Council of Wales, which is part of the Muslim Council of Great Britain, and deputy editor for political magazine Spiked, Tom Slater. Tell our audience how you have compiled this report and what you found.
So we looked at 11,000 different articles. We found that a large proportion of articles and clips from the news are very...
And dramas.
And dramas on BBC, for example, have negative associations when it comes to Muslims. What we're looking at is looking at overall. When you look at all of it together, what does that mean for the way that a viewer or a reader would see Muslims as when that's what they perceive?
Tom, do you accept this?
It strikes me that a lot of things are being conflated with that. One of the examples cited in your report is the fact that the BBC and The Guardian, in the wake of the Westminster Bridge attack, ran with a picture which was provided by the Metropolitan Police as well as by the wire services of the attacker Khalid Massoud in Mecca. And your report makes this point that this will subconsciously associate terrorism with Islamic practice. And whilst we might discuss the extent to which Khalid Massoud was really acting in the name of God when he committed that horrible atrocity, it's not irrelevant. It's important that we should be able to discuss these things, and my concern reading this report and looking at many of the examples in it is that often what we're not talking about is misrepresentation to the ends of anti-Muslim bigotry, a far broader definition, a far more nebulous idea of Islamophobia, which my concern is will chill discussion of very important...
What was your issue with that photo?
So we're saying that you can have lots of photos about an individual, or why use a photo when he's doing a religious practice which many others do? It's something
But what's wrong with it? What's wrong with using that photo?
Because what happens is that people, and when the random individual who looks at that photo then sort of associates that with the faith.
How does it make you feel?
First of all, I watched The Bodyguard, and that was the first episode I clearly remembered. I felt that this is exactly the Islamophobic narrative that we're trying to challenge, that Muslim woman is oppressed and suppressed, and she's a terrorist, and she's a bomber, and not only that, she's about to be saved by a white man. It doesn't make the life of me easier or other women.
I could see Tom frowning as you were saying that, the link between watching it and how it makes people think. Do you not accept that?
It all comes down to the idea of media effects theory, which is something which for generations has been frequently debunked, the idea that people are like lemmings. They view a portrayal, even in a drama programme, which is just within a drama, and then go out and act on it. I don't think people are as simplistic as all that.
I think the issue becomes that it is the MCB, and the MCB both have a history plus also where they are now. I would argue they are part of the problem when it comes to these kind of views about Muslims are like this, Muslims are like that. There was a part in the report where they talk about Sharia law and they say, the penal codes are only within a specific subset. We're talking about murdering people here. Like the Sharia penal codes on apostasy are like murder. Right? I would be killed in these kind of situations. So for me, any kind of whitewashing of that kind of stuff makes the MCB part of the problem. And so when we're looking at a report like this, where you have to absolutely trust the credibility of the organization because it is discursive analysis, then I just cannot...
So you don't trust the report, you don't trust the MCB?
No. There was a part in the report where they talk about Sharia law and they say, the penal codes are only within a specific subset. We're talking about murdering people here. Like the Sharia penal codes on apostasy are like murder. Right? I would be killed in these kind of situations. So for me, any kind of whitewashing of that kind of stuff makes the MCB part of the problem. And so when we're looking at a report like this, where you have to absolutely trust the credibility of the organization because it is discursive analysis, then I just cannot...
So you don't trust the report, you don't trust the MCB?
No.